London is one of the most diverse and cosmopolitan cities in the world. 2 weeks ago today, I walked across Westminster Bridge on my way to the memorial service for Afghanistan and Iraq. And on that morning, Westminster Bridge was packed, as it is every morning, with people of all nationalities and all ages, school parties excited to be witnessing the Palace of Westminster and everything that the wonderful city of London has to offer. So we must remind ourselves that the victims of yesterday's attack would and could have been of all and any nationality. But it is also important to remind ourselves, as Kezia Dugdale has just done, that the responsibility for this attack does not lie with any faith or nationality. Terrorists seek to pervert religions and we should not in any way contribute to their ability to do so. So this is an important moment for us to stand united and send that message. One of the issues I discussed both last night and again this morning with the Deputy Chief Constable was the need to be vigilant against any increase in hate crime in the days ahead. So all of us in this Parliament should unite to send that message. The only people responsible for terrorism are the terrorists, and let's make sure that message goes loudly and clearly. I, like Patrick Harvey, like many of us in this chamber, grew up during the Cold War and grew up at a time when the fear of terrorism was Irish terrorism. And I remember very well, as many of us do, how real that felt at times. But what we didn't have to contend with then, as young people today do have to contend with, was the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week conveyance of news on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, which I think we all recognise makes everything seem so much more acute, literally every second of every day.
For 4 years, I would walk up Kennington Road and over Westminster Bridge. I'd look up to Big Ben and then down the Thames, dodging past the tourists taking pictures of this iconic scene recognised right across the globe. I would descend the steps and into the Palace of Westminster, nodding at the police officer who would nod in return. Morning, Mr. Rennie. It was the personal touch. I don't think I will be able to walk that route again without thinking of the people run over, the woman in the river, the police and the people injured, the 3 people who died, perhaps some were tourists taking pictures, the officer who stood to defend democracy but losing his life in the process. But I do want to be free to walk that route again. Now, getting the balance right between security and freedom is a difficult one. Does the First Minister agree with me that we must act based on security, expertise, evidence and intelligence, and not fear?
First Minister.
Yes, I do. I agree very strongly indeed. I think Willie Rennie has just very movingly accounted his own experiences of making the journey that many of those who work within Westminster would have made yesterday morning. Those of us who have never worked within Westminster, though, can relate to our own experiences of coming to work in this building, nodding and saying good morning to the police officers and the security staff. The security staff in here, many of them who have been with us, those of us who have been in this Parliament since 1999, from the very beginning, people that we have come to think of, not just as colleagues, but as friends. They work every single day around the perimeters of this building and in this building to keep us safe. And yesterday was a reminder of just how much we owe each and every one of them.